Greetings, we here with Samaya Ali in profound conversations to engage in the process of exploring the dynamics of sound therapy, the science of healing frequencies and emotional health. This is an expert. This is one who studied. She spent time going in spaces that people are afraid to go into. She studied things that people simply just overlook and don't see the connections. She's connected that which is disconnected. Samaya Ali, it is a pleasure to have you here. Tell us about yourself. I mean, just I'm excited. Tell us about what's going on in your world that brings you to profound conversations.
Well, first of all, thank you for your wonderful introduction and your energy and your expertise. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, so I am a current doctoral student. I am close to getting my doctorate in acupuncture and herbal medicine. But I am using music as a modality in terms of being more specific or intentional about putting frequencies through the needles, because we all know that sound travels 3 times faster in liquid in water than it does in air. So if I'm able to tap into the blood through the acupuncture needle, we can change the structure of the blood plasma and heal literally on a molecular level.
She said heal on the molecular level. That is going all the way down to the molecules of the body to facilitate something.
Absolutely.
Now, when we think about acupuncture, massage as well, we're thinking about Asian, Eastern kind of work. But do you have something to share with us about this Asian, Eastern, and African work for medicine and healing? So I'm excited about stop, pause. You do a dissertation program, is that correct? Your doctoral program?
It's an actual doctoral program. It's not a PhD. It's a practicing medical doctor. So
Practical
I'm
P.
yes.
So
So
you
I'll be a
singing into the
practitioner.
needles.
Yes, I'll be a health
So you sing.
practitioner.
So you take the needles and you sing them to them. How does it work? Help me out.
Well, I have grown partial to the Pythagorean theorem, which is also African, if you check. So it's 12 notes, 12 chromatic notes of the 12 chromatic notes of a scale can coincide with the 12 meridians, the 12 organs, the 12 hours repeated twice in a day, and the 12 planets, to know that we cannot separate ourselves. We cannot separate our physical body from the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the ancestral, or even the planets. It's a wonderful way to view things through music, of being interconnected, not only to the heaven, but to the earth and all of humanity. This can all be symbolized through the music. Every single chromatic note is connected to an organ, to a meridian, to an hour.
12 meridians, 12 planets, vibratory frequency, 12 spaces, right? The chromatic going up every single note, not mean anything, not a scale, but 12. That's powerful. That's deep. Okay. So y'all listen, this is not going to simply be a doctor out there. When you begin to hear her lectures and to be able to see what she writes about this, because she's gonna have to write about this so that we can understand it even more deeply than experiencing it, because we can pass it on through generations through that writing and practitioner. Man, this is going to be off the chain. What is the connection between Eastern and African forms of medicine?
I wouldn't say there is a connection. I would just say that they are the same thing. Eastern medicine is African medicine. If you look at the old texts, like the Neijing, the Neijing, the Wang Di, like the Yellow Emperor, the only thing they can say, where did acupuncture come from? They say from the East. I mean, from the West. They say acupuncture came from the West. And what is West of Asia except for, Africa? And if you look at hieroglyphics, those are the closest. But look, we've lost a lot. We've lost a lot. Our whole country was drained of people, of medicine masters, of our scholars. But we can find like a breadcrumb trail through language, through art, we can find our culture. So if you go to China, you can find pyramids. Who like pyramids just like the ones in Egypt
Okay,
with
and now you back to Pythagoras as well, right? Because if Pythagoras is about what geometry and pyramid exist in Africa, now you stand in Asia, that
they
means
have
that the
in China.
Greeks could not have possibly come up with the idea of geometry. Wow, come
They
on now,
have,
you hitting so many points. It's good.
and if you look at hieroglyphics, the meaning behind them, you'll find the chain to Chinese characters. There's no other written language that has that same lineage and those same kind of art, kind of telling a story, but definite characters that can be read. You can only find these through this connection right here. And likewise with the medicine. And if you look at history, you will find that the Mongolians and nomadic tribes invaded China from the north. And
Mm.
these were lighter complexioned people that married in, kind of like if you go to Egypt today, you really don't see many dark skinned. You will find some dark skinned people, but you see more Arab looking people. But we know that originally this is called Kemet, the land of the sunburned people. In the same way, nomadic tribes and Mongolians invaded China from the north, and the real Chinese moved south because they were Taoists and they didn't believe, they were pacifists. So they were just like, we're out. Or they moved up into the top of the mountains. You will see a lot of dark skinned people in the mountains, hidden at the tops, or just down south. And if you look all the way down south, even in the Philippines, in Cambodia, you will see the dark skinned African, kinky haired Asians, and you will find the
Mm.
root.
That's powerful because you're saying that it what is what we consider to be African today that is really the root, the foundation of what people consider to be Asian. I know I've seen some of the images of the various iconography, the image, and they had the little coily hair, and it's like, okay, what is it? What is the cornrow thing all about, right? And so you actually bring a lot of clarity to that conversation, and then we know that the hieroglyphics. I love that connection.
I
In
mean,
ancient
even
Kemet,
look,
go ahead.
yeah, I'm like, even look at the Buddha. She has bad two knots. I've never
That's
seen
it.
an Asian with bad two knots.
That's where I saw the
Little,
Buddha, right? Go down to South Africa, you see that same look among the sun. It's amazing. And so you mentioned hieroglyphs, right? The Metoneta means writings of the gods, right? And so when you talk about writings and you mentioned the imagery, the iconography, the pictures that are drawn, that speaks volumes to a population, right? So be able to convey messages of healing, of restoration, of movement, just simply from writing. So you saying there is a connection, and so you saying that it's not a connection between the two; that it is the same thing. Love it. I
yes,
love it. So you studied this, right? And you studied this idea of movement, of vibration, of voice, of emotion, spiritual healing. That's part of your practicum
this is
experience. So share about that, right? Share about this idea of voice and emotion and spiritual health.
I love that you call it spiritual health, but what we need to realize is, I mean, this is basic chemistry. This is basic physics. We talk about we are all made up of atoms. Everyone believes in atoms, you know. We cannot see atoms. We cannot see them, but we know they exist. And we know that the atom has protons and neutrons in the nucleus. And we know that the electrons, which are invisible practically, they move so quickly we can't see them. Trillions of electrons moving quickly so we can't even see them make up the vast 95% majority. So the physical body of the atom, which is very, very small, 5% physical body, and then we have the other 95% electrons, biophotons moving quickly. So even though human body is right here, this is only 5% of who we are. We have biophotons, electrons circling around us just as the earth circles the sun. So quickly we can't even see them. This is the electromagnetic field. This is what the Chinese call qi, which is why you can step like, ooh, the energy doesn't feel right in here. Like, I don't like her energy. It's not something made up. There is an actual electromagnetic field. That's why during COVID, everyone had to stay 6 feet away from each other. We're trying to even stay out of each other's electromagnetic fields. This is science. This isn't even like, and this is what people call chi. There's the big chi. They call it the da chi, which is air. You can see it. I love when chi becomes manifested, visible. You can see it in the rays and the tide of the ocean. You can see it, the same chi, how it pushes the blood through our veins. You can see the chi in how plants burst through the soil into the earth, the yang energy moving up forward. It's ancient people call it chi. We break it down in physics or quantum physics. We can call it biophotons. We can call it electrons, and we know when we add the photons to the electrons, we get color. It's all energy. And it is the spirit. So this is the physical body. And then outside of that, we have the mental body. And outside of that, the aura is the emotional body and the spiritual body and the ancestral body. It can all be there. And you know what they used to, it's called the ether. Because we can dial into this electromagnetic field, and everyone has one. And I think it's so interesting because everyone has like an etheric blueprint where the sun, moon, stars, everything was when you entered this universe, which is also a musical note. Everyone has this etheric imprint. Everybody has this ether. Everyone has this signal. And I find it very interesting. You know what they used to call the internet? Before it was called the internet, because you're picking up on these electromagnetic fields. You're picking up on these frequencies. They used to call it the Ethernet, because what you're doing is picking up on amazing, signals. You're picking up on signals from the electromagnetic field. There's scalar energy, and there's also electromagnetic energy coming from this field, and we're able to pick up on signals. But before the Ethernet ever existed, you can pick up on someone's signal and send them a prayer. It's the same thing.
Photons, electrons, ether, spirit, it's all the same. Get to a point where the sound has color. Wow.
Yes.
I want you to continue, right? This idea of voice, emotions, and spirit. So how does this work for you, right? This singing to acupuncture needles.
There's so many ways to dissect this. So I've been playing music. I started playing the violin when I was 9 years old, and I didn't realize I was tuning everyone. I think everyone should Music is so important. In America, we do not use music to its full potential. We just use it for entertainment, but it can really be used to tune ourselves to the whole universe. The universe vibrates at a frequency of 528 hertz, which is also the level of the heart. When it's anything above 500 is very good for the heart, but very healing for the heart to resonate at 528. And what happens is when you hear a tone, you become you can't help but to tune yourself and your heart to that tone. And it can work both ways. So if you're listening to something that is not good for you, you can tune yourself to that frequency, but you can also counter the frequency. So what I love about sound therapy is it's one of the two ways to attune the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. So I like to call these like hijackers. What happens when you get turned up? Like when someone says, that's why you're ugly and you don't have anybody. Like what are those emotions that come up? They have a certain frequency. So if I have the note A, but that's too strong, I can go a fifth below that. And in the middle, I can find your balancing frequencies, if that makes sense. So a lot of things can take us out of our optimal frequency. And it goes, this is all subconscious stuff because we know, people know I am brilliant. I could be a millionaire. You know that in your subconscious mind, but something in your subconscious mind is saying, you don't deserve to be a millionaire. Someone could have said to you when you're 5 years old, you can't do that, or money doesn't grow on trees, or you're a nobody. And that little 5-year-old child believed it. And you try to and that takes you out of your optimal frequency. You just try to push it down and move forward. But then something happens in your life. You some kind of sickness, a cancer, a pathological factor, and something happens, and your body doesn't have the energy to repair itself because the subconscious is holding on to something, some kind of trauma, some kind of energy. But how do we access that subconscious? We can through the voice, because the voice is a microcosm. It is a diagnostic tool. We can listen to your voice and know exactly how you feel inside. Everyone can to an extent. Like when you hear something, you got a lump in your throat, you try to talk over it. Or you can even say when somebody makes you cringe, or the sound of your mother's voice is full of love. Everyone can feel the frequencies in that, and they change. If someone shouts, shut up to you, that has an effect on you. The voice is a very powerful thing. And in the voice, in Chinese medicine, there is a branch of the heart meridian that goes straight to the root of the tongue, to the voice. And also in Sufism, they say that the heart always flowers in the voice. This is very beautiful, which is why, especially in America, we're like, oh, nobody can judge me, only God judge you. But we can. We can through your voice, even through what you say. What you say. If you are always speaking positive things, we can tell that's a diagnostic tool where your heart is. Or if you always have something negative to say or talking about somebody, it's a diagnostic tool about where your heart is. Or you can say, I love you, but you can feel in the heart it's not genuine. This is a diagnostic tool. And we can actually have the frequencies to measure, oh, your voice is on this note. So it's really saying that you don't feel validated inside. So you feel like you feel unacknowledged. So you feel like you have to buy fancy cars or nice clothes to feel to feel validated inside. So all of this, we can get this information from the voice, and we can also get these counter frequencies from music to heal. So this is the way we can use voice. We can use it as a diagnostic tool, and we can if you have So I didn't give you my whole biography. So I went to Spelman. So I have a degree in music from Spelman College. And then I have a master's degree in music and voice, in particular from the New England Conservatory. And when I was a student there, I spent a lot of time listening to the voice, listening to people sing German Lied, listening to people sing an opera workshop, listening to people sing French melody, listening to so many voices. And I could tell this person will not be able to hit that high note because they don't believe in themselves and they're not grounded. They're not grounded. You can't go, if you, just like a tree only can grow as tall as how deep its roots are. So if you are not grounded into the earth, you cannot sing high. These are all like spiritual things. This person doesn't believe in themselves. This person is not grounded in their lives. This person is bossy, so doesn't know how to be vulnerable. She's going to push that note out instead of letting it float out. Will she impress people? Yes. But will she be able to touch them in their hearts? No. Because there's no vulnerability in the heart. There's no authenticity and honesty. And this is not a criticism, but it's a diagnostic tool to see where someone is. And I believe everyone should learn how to sing. I don't sing in tune. Guess what? You can learn how to sing in tune. Everyone should be able to tune their hearts to the cosmic symphony of this universe. I miss like those video like people used to get together even in church. It wouldn't be anything but like the same thing. No words. Which is amen, amen. It goes through those same syllables and tones, live through all religious and spiritual practices. It's
And
a
you can do that moan. You do that moan, and people say, "Sing it," and say words. Say it, and no word has been spoken, but the essence of what is has come through spirit. Powerful. You said that we are born with frequency and vibration, and we can have experiences that actually allow us to be able to be suppressed. And that last thing you were doing with the note, the pentatonic scale that you were hitting, is part of that is bending notes. That if we stay bent note phrase too long, we become distorted. And that's what you were describing about how we can lose our frequency by the bent note space because we've been told what we can't do and what we're not and how inferior we are. And then we do not sing our own song. We sing the vibratory frequency of our traducers, and we do not move in a moment of healing. We move in a moment of health. Therefore, you talked about the issue of releasing that energy inside the body, and that can cause ailments. And so this is powerful work that you're doing, powerful work that is coming up. People who have to listen to this is good. I just wanted to kind of slow it down and capture the essence of what you were saying as possible because it is so rich. Go back to this idea of well, first of all, you said instrumentation, musicality. I do agree. I'm a musician. I believe that people should pick up an instrument and know how to connect. And you said your first instrument is your voice. I love that. I am not one who has the most eloquent voice, but you said that it's possible. And I hope that one day you can teach me and don't lose your optimism for everybody can learn to sing. It's like, oh, everybody can sing but him. But I want you to be able to elaborate on the idea of your frequency, your vibration, the notation, how we can release energy to heal, as also energy can be used to destroy the body. So what's the healing aspect of that particular energy? And you were with that I love bone. Go ahead.
Well, you just said that in the beginning, they say there was the word, right? What was the word? They didn't just hold up the sign with the word on it, right?
No.
The word had to be a sound. Yes?
Yes.
What was that sound? It was music. In the beginning, there was the word. Before anything. So if we could tune in, it's like it's a song and we forgot the word. The word was
Mm.
lost, but it's really within us all. And that's what we're doing when we try to tune ourselves to the word. It's in there. We just got to get all the crap off. We got to do the work to release all of these layers and veils that have been thrown upon us. So in doing this, it's more, this is a cultivation. It's a cultivation for the heart. It's a cultivation for the spirit. It's a cultivation for the world.
There is healing in the word. I love it. The
Yeah.
beginning was the word, and the word was a sound, and that sound was music. I love it. This idea of the word, the power of the spoken word. Among the Dogon, they talk about Nomo, the power of the spoken word, and they said that word has meaning from the front and the side and the back. And then there is the clear word, right? And so, Beni Sobolo so Dai, it's for how the power of the word. And in Western society, they say that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But you're
Big
very
lie.
clear that words are indeed sound, their vibration, their frequency. And so we tune that we can hear the words. And we've heard statements like the mouth can say anything, but the behavior don't lie. You're saying that what you believe in your heart comes out, choose from your vibratory frequencies, powerful. In this moment, as we pull this segment um, to a slowdown point, not a stop,
Yeah.
talk more about healing through interconnectedness or healing through song, music, vibration, or restoration of the whole person through the word.
Yes. Well, first, we need to be very mindful because the voice is a reflection of the spirit. And we know from science, right? Sound waves never die. They live forever. Just like if you take a rock and throw it into a pond, we see it plop and we see the waves grow bigger and bigger and bigger, but they never die. Even when and that's how it is. When we release sound into the universe, it never dies. And it's recorded. Everything is recorded. And when you let it out, it's also recorded into our hearts. So if people are putting a certain frequency out there, we must find the counterbalancing frequency and sing that song as well to bring things back into line. Right now, we're living in a tilted room. People are saying things that aren't true. And when you stand upright, you look crazy, right? But we can find those balancing frequencies within ourselves and within the world to bring it back into alignment. And this world in Chinese medicine would be described, or I would describe it as an excess of yang. There's yin and there's yang, or excess in yang. We're very capitalistic, very go, go, go. Money, sex, drugs, overpowered, multitask, ADD, 60 second, 2 minute songs, not a 20-minute concerto, right? Everything's very ADD, go, 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 go. But what do we do when we have excess yang? We're out of balance. We need to nourish the yin. We need to nourish the yin, which is still, which is silence. People have a problem with that. They don't know how to sit in stillness and in silence. And because when you do that, when you can sit in nature with silence and reflect on the qualities, you'll be able to hear the sounds. And you'll be able to hear the voice within, and you'll be able to see the qualities of the divine. You'll be able to hear the qualities of divine. And you'll be able to see truth. And so, and this is music. We just nourishing the yin. I used to see notes as good and bad, but now I know that every note has its purpose, and every note can can serve. Just like I was before, I was talking about 440, which Hitler used a lot to brainwash people, and 432 is a better note because it opens the pineal gland and it encourages free, independent thinking. But sometimes people need their pineal gland shut off if they just came through some trauma, some sexual abuse. Sometimes you do have to. So there's no right or wrong notes. It all, there's no one size fits all answer. Everyone has their own song to play. Everyone, God has put notes and gifts within everyone, and only they can play that song, but they must do the work to find the notes. And then they'll fit in perfectly. It'll be so sad. It's so sad. It's sad for everyone. If one person doesn't find their song, not everyone else cannot benefit. So just
Wow.
this is how I feel about it.
Samaya Ali talking about the sound, the frequency, talking about the heart, the rhythm, the vibration, the flow, talking about the areas, hertz, megahertz, where people can get locked into certain things, and they can close off the pineal gland, that which connects one to spirit or to the otherness. Samaya Ali, one who's studying, she's a doctor. She's researching and studying how to unlock this in the context of acupuncture, but more importantly, how to return people back to the vibratory frequency to resonate in their own song, to help them to be able to move in the power of their own voice, to be able to step into a room and change the atmosphere because their vibratory frequency is moving people from leaning to being upright. Dr. Ali, as we're claiming that right now, we thank you for this profound conversation around the voice, around Eastern African medicine, and around how we can be healed, how we can be whole, and how we can have holism in our lives. Samaya Ali, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.